Okay, welcome back. Just want to give you a little bit of flavor of the history with our game that I'm playing here. I'm going to read a little bit of passage from the report by Colonel George Wells, 34th Massachusetts, part of the Army of West Virginia under Crook's Brigade, Crook and Thorburn. Wells actually at this point was commanding the 1st Brigade of Thorburn's division in there. But he originally commanded the 34th Massachusetts. And part of his report here, he talks about the division moving up and being in position here. And he states here that in his memoirs, now we have reached the high ground upon the bank of a creek. We halted there, arms were stacked, the men and their appetites well sharpened by the march 9 miles since 3 a.m. were dismissed to boil their coffee. All spirits were in the high. From our elevated ground, we could overlook the scene of the conflict on the other side of the stream. The 6th and the 19th Corps had attacked with great gallantry and vigor, though as yet no decided advantage had been secured. So very similar to what has been going on with our attack over here, still very much up in the air. Now he continues, from our eminence we could see the whole extent of the field, the country from the creek at our feet and north of the pike leading from Berryville to Winchester was broken, dotted with the occasional cornfields, isolated pieces of woodland, and intersected with occasional lines of stone wall. Here the rebels were formed in a line of battle, from their rear extending up to the town of Winchester, and far away on beyond his right and left was open plain, the ground gently rolling, divided by the occasional walls and broken here and there by patchless, thick timber. Over this field, a dense cloud of smoke was hanging, which in places somewhat obscured our view. Yet we saw, or thought we saw, our forces getting ready, already engaged, was insufficient for the work at hand, and somewhat impatiently waited for orders to go in. The sound of the battle had grown from an irregular skirmish fire to an uninterrupted roll of musketry, mingled with, at times, almost drowned out by the heavier roar of artillery. The loud cheer of our men was met by the sharper, wild yell of the enemy, rebel yell, as he gathered to repel our charge or to attack our lines in turn. The contending forces had tried each other's strength, each having lost heavily, and neither have gained a decisive advantage. At the moment, the musketry fire was somewhat slackened, but the artillery all along the lines was severe and furious. Okay, so kind of shows exactly what was going on historically with what's going on with our battle here. We have our artillery over here, Confederate artillery, Union artillery here. I think he's a little embellished in terms of what he heard. We're dealing with 1, 2, 3, 4 batteries from the Union side that are engaged on our side now, 5th one coming on, and potentially a 6th one in historical terms from the Union against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 batteries from the Confederate side. So it could be seen from the heights just off. Where are we here? Just off here, above the Opequon Creek, which is just off map here to the right side of the screen. So they were positioned up here, I think roughly, if I adjust the camera here a little bit, show you the edge of the board, and then tip you up a tab. I think they were positioned right over in this general area off board. Obviously we don't have the terrain over here, but all of these creeks, Abraham's Creek, Ash Hollow Run, and what is this, Red Bud Run, all flow into the Opequon over in this general area off board over here. So that kind of gives a general view of the battle from the Union combatant side. As I said, Wells of the 34th Massachusetts, and then the 1st Brigade under Thorburn. He continues here a little bit, though. I'll just read on just a next bit, talking about before they actually get into battle, which is kind of where we are with them. We're a little delayed still because of the traffic jam here, but most of us leisurely smoked our pipes and discussed the situation. A young lieutenant of ours, anxious to add a bar to his shoulder straps, impatiently cut at mullein stalks with his sword, and petulantly expressed his fear that we should not have a chance today. "Don't be impatient," replied a veteran captain, measuring like an Indian the hour with his eye. "There is time enough between now and night for many brave fellow to lose the number of his mess." Now, what he means by that is number of his mess is the in their division, when they had mess call, they were part of squads for mess, and that's what they mean by their number. They had a number slated for who they were in their mess call. And at that very instant, from the head of the column, our bugles rang out the assembly, and every man sprang to his place. We crossed the creek and entered the canyon leading to the field of battle. Here we met a steady and strong current of wounded men and stragglers from the corps that have already engaged the enemy. Forcing our way through the throng, we emerged from the gorge, turned to the right, and passing up an intersecting ravine in the rear of our troops, which had been formed line on their right in open ground, partly covered in front by a piece of thick woods. Okay, so this I find interesting because I believe what he's talking about can be seen on our map. Here's the gorge here. I believe they came up to this trail right here, progressed up along here. At this point, a little bit different than ours. The 19th Corps was actually up here in the first woods. The attack was much farther along than it is here now. But they actually came up along here, up to this point, and then along this road, which I don't have a name for, but along this road that goes up and eventually leads over to the Huntsbury farm and the Hoffman farm and Hackwood over to the northwest. And let me just tip up the camera so you can actually see them over in here, right here. Huntsbury Farm, Hoffman, and Heartland over here. Actually, Huntsbury is still in existence there, and it's part of this part that's actually preserved battlefield of 3rd Winchester. So I believe they came up here, progressed up here, and then set up their attack going this way down there. And we'll talk about that. I'll come back with that once we get to that particular spot, or we get a similar situation once the 34th gets on here. Right now it's going to be probably at least another hour or so before we can get them on board here, as I say, because we're just starting out with the 12 p.m. turn. So with that, I will leave you. Hopefully you enjoyed that little snippet of history meeting our games. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Okay, coming back to you, going to play a activation for you here. We're at the 12 noon mark. This is, of course, the Battle of 3rd Winchester, Death Valley. 12 noon. We're up to AM of Getty. This is his second AM of the turn. He led off here before. And just wanted to play out one here for you because I think this is an interesting situation. Now, what has happened here is here's Getty's units right here. Here's Bidwell, right in here, and here, and here. We have Warner kind of wrapped around up to the northwest, and then we have Wheaton down here, kind of wrapped to the southwest. Now, the reason why I want to bring this in is this is a very interesting situation because we've got an attack by Gordon with Atkinson here hitting Bidwell, trailing over to hit Warner. But Warner's also been hit with artillery from Braxton pretty heavily. You can see there disordered, and he's actually disordered here as well. Actually, the 3rd Vermont was disordered from Nelson over here. So the artillery has been working them over pretty good, and they're going to have to do something over here. Over to the south, we've got Wheaton. He's in okay shape, although he's got some units that have low ammo and are disordered, and have some issues here as well. So just wanted to show you this activation because it's a bit more complex one, and kind of my thoughts on how I'm going to handle it, because these guys are kind of in the middle and kind of at the tip of the Union attack here. As you can see, we've got Kiefer of Ricketts Division extending down to the south, and we're going to extend down south because we have Emerson moving that way as well, because we've got more coming up with Russell's division moving up the road next, and Grover following him here as well. But these guys are on the front, and what Gordon is trying to do with the artillery, and as well as Goodwin over here, is try to stem the attack. And actually Gordon is going on the attack, because you can't see off here, but to the west, Rhodes is marching up the Berryville Pike to come in behind Wickham over here and take up the defense over there. We also have to the north, we have Wharton has come on and is now forming forming a line up there to prevent the Union cavalry from heading down south as well. So the forces are coming around here to really kind of block and hem things in, and the Union is still kind of hemmed in. Even though they've cleared the valley, they're still kind of hemmed in here by this attack. They haven't broken out along the Berryville Pike quite yet, although Confederates are giving way here a little bit. So anyways, that's kind of the bigger strategic situation. So here's where we are with everything. I think I'm going to start here brigade-wise with Bidwell. Now, Bidwell is in kind of a tough situation over here. He's got 2 units, this 43rd New York. There's another unit under his location here. I forget which one it is. But anyways, they're both collapsed right over here. Yeah, there it is, 61 PA. They're both collapsed. And you can see he's also got another one disordered over here. He's got another one under this refuge flank over here. 6th Vermont's come over to kind of help out here as well. So they really need to blunt this attack so that Russell can get up and relieve him within here. So we're going to start with Bidwell, try to figure out what we're going to do with him. I think in his hex, we're going to have him, let's move him out for a second. We've got 2, actually 1, and then another 2 firepower over here against Atkinson. Move him out for a minute, which he's got a strong line. He's got 6 units in full good order. One of them is the sharpshooters there as well. But we need them to hold the line as long as they can over there. The other thing, and I think I'm going to start over here now that I'm looking at this. Let's move Bidwell back on. That there. Over here and try to take shots at him and him, because he's refused. Move this off here, and he's still in good order, so he can fire over here. I'm hopeful that between the combination of these 2 here, they can knock out this to relieve some pressure over here, because we do have a couple units there. We've got the disordered one on top, and then we've got the 1st Maine below in there. I'd like to get the 49th back, but I don't want to take very much fire if I can hold. If I can get rid of some of them or disorder them there as well. So we're going to start over here with 122nd. And they're going to take a shot at the 61st Georgia and the unit underneath them, which we'll see later here. So he's refused. So he is, and he's also low ammo, which is going to make it a little bit tough. But he's going to have, we're going to put 2 firepower on them. So that's going to be 2. The other 4 are going to go against this unit up here, because I need to stop him there as well. So there'll be 2. Now he does have, he's in good order, so he's got his rifle and prepared fire, so that's +2, -2 for the ammo, 0, -1 for the woods, but +1 because this is firing through his flank. They did not refuse their flank over here, so it winds up to be 0. And there won't be any return fire on this unless they do a refuge flank, but I'm not sure they're gonna do that. Let's see what the fire is. So it's gonna be 2 with no DRMs. That's not gonna do much. Rolls a 1 and a 1. 1 for the attack. 2 is nothing, so there's no hits on there as well. Okay, so that didn't go very well. But now let's take the other 4 up here against them, where there will be return fire. So this time it's going to be +2, -2, -1. So 4 -1 for the Union, and then 4 +1 +2 for the Confederates, -1, 4 +1 for the Confederates, 4 -1 for the Union, 4 +1 for the Confederates. So the Union rolls a 5. That's going to be a low ammo, and it's going to go down to a 4. Well, he's already low ammo, so he's going to be out of ammo. That's not good. And he rolls a 1, a 4-1. I don't think it's going to do anything for him. It's a little D. He's fine. Confederates are fine. Confederate roll is a 4 +1 is a 5. There's no ammo because that was not a natural 5. So that's a D. And his cohesion roll is a 4. So they're all good. The only thing coming out of that is that the 122nd is now out of ammo, and that is a problem. That's a bigger problem. Okay, so they're done. Coming back over here now, I've got to figure out what I want to do. Have them stand and take a shot. These guys will definitely take a shot at them, but it's not their brigade, and I didn't do a coordinated attack, so they'll have to wait. But if I retire them, they're going to get a free shot at the 7th main, or 1st main. Only a strength point of 1. Yeah, I'm gonna withdraw them, which means they're gonna get free shots at them. So it's gonna be 4 with a +1 +2 -1, so 4 with a +1. They roll a 1, makes it a 2. On a 4 is gonna be, there we go, nothing pretty much. Yeah, yep. So the first one misses. Second one is a 3 with a +1. They roll a 0. That's going to be nothing as well. So that actually worked out okay. The 7th, the 49th got extracted here, and the 7th is still in good order. So now they're going to fire back at them. So that's going to be a 7 with +1 +2 -1, so +1, and they'll do the same firing back as well. So it's going to be 7 with a +1 and 4 with a +1. All right, the 7 with a +1, they roll a 4, goes to a 5 on a 7. Is going to be a D +1. They roll a 5 on the cohesion, goes up to 6, and the Confederates will be okay. Confederates roll a 3, a 2, goes to a 3, and then a 3 on the dice, so they get nothing. All right, the other unit's going to shoot 3 with a +1, And they roll a low ammo. 5 with a +1 is 6. 6 on a 3 is a D. And the cohesion roll they roll is an 8, which is going to disorder them. Alright, so the first main is disordered. And the unit underneath, the 12th Georgia Battalion, low ammo. Alright, so they're still holding out over here. Oops. That in first. And they're taking damage, which is not good. Alright, now we got to move to Bidwell, and this is going to be the toughest one. Because it's going to be this guy who is just 1 strength point. But they will get a +1 because they are in good order. And they can prepare fire. So it's going to be rifle, prepare fire, -1 for wood. So 1 with a +1. And Atkinson's units, top unit here, 31 Georgia is 4, +1, -1. So they will be a +1 as well. So 1 +1 and 4 +1. Oop, I forgot the other 2 dice. All right, we'll take these first. And then we'll roll these. Okay, so this is actually good. Unit rolls a 9. That'll go to a 10 and a 1. It's a D +1. Their D roll is a 6, goes to a 7. But Atkinson is there, so he will reduce it back to a 6. So they're okay. Their return fire is a 4. Is a 2 +1 is 3. It's a D -1. And their D roll is a 7, or is an 8 going to a 7. Now Bidwell is there too, so you can boost his morale up to a 6 to a 7, so they're okay. So no loss, no issue there. But the other unit underneath them can shoot. Is that the sharpshooters under there? Yes, it's a sharpshooter. So he's a 2, sharpshooter +2. And the rifle makes +3, but the woods bring him down to a +2. So it's 2 with a +2. He rolls not very well. Rolls a 1, goes to a 3. On a 2 is nothing, so he misses. So that didn't do anything for either side. All right, so that takes care of those 3 units. He's moved back, so he's done. And then he's over here, just kind of hanging out of the way. I think he'll stay there. Now you notice I do have the first mass battery back here, so if they do break through, hopefully they will be able to actually hit them with canister. Okay, so that was Bidwell. Now let's move over to Warner over here. Warner. Got a couple things going on here. I think we're going to start with a 6 Vermont now. They're going to fire at that stack over there. So he is a 5. We'll get a +1 for rifles, +1 for prepared fire, -1 for wood. So 5 with a +1. And then then they'll be able to fire back again 4 +1. So 5 +1. 5 +1, they roll a natural 5, that's a low ammo, but that goes to a 6, wherever 6 is, it's going to make them 6. On a 5 is going to be a D +1, so his D roll is 7, goes to an 8, so that's going to disorder the top unit over here. So let me go get the low. There we go. Okay, and now bottom unit's going to fire at him, but he's got low ammo already, so he's going to be +1 for rifles, +1 for prepared fire, -2 is 0, -1 for wood, so it'll be a 3 with a -1. He rolls a 4. 4 will go down to 3. And that will be it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I just noticed I didn't do the top guy over here, but he had he actually rolled a 0, so that was a miss as well. All right, so the 6th Vermont is able to disorder them, which kind of keeps them out of the way. Now let's move back over to Warner. This becomes a little bit more interesting because Warner up here, all of these units are disordered and they're still in canister range. Now, I can keep them there and try to recover them, but I think I'm going to move them back and then recover them. So I think what I'm going to do is take Warner. He's going to take a step back into there. They're already disordered, so I'm not going to have to roll. Now with the 3rd Vermont, I think I'm going to go here first, and I've got method to my madness. They are going to turn all the way around instead of withdrawal. They're going to do a 1 and then move back 2. Oh no, they can't do that. They can do 3. They can do, all right. They'll do a withdrawal. Sorry, I thought I could do it, but I guess not. So they're going to withdraw into here, and then, oh no, sorry, I did that backwards. 5th is going to withdraw in here first, and then they will withdraw into there like so. Okay. So they've withdrawn in there, so they can't recover yet. And then I think, yeah, he's over here, refused. I think what I may do is drop that and have them come over here just in case Wickham gets a little gets any ideas to attack. All right. So that takes care of Warner's units. So that now the next AM, which is going to be the 3rd AM, then they'll activate to try to recover. Actually, I'm going to swap these out. My little cubes to remind me of fatigue. I've got the yellow cubes here, meaning they're 1 away from that. Red cubes are used in case they have shock attacked. So there we go. Okay, so that's Warner. The last one is Wheaton. Wheaton is over here. Now, with this, I've got a couple situations here. I've got these guys, low ammo. I'd like to get them back in good stead. These guys need to recover, and then these guys are generally okay. But I think because I've got the low ammo and those guys there, I'm going to just have them do a recovery action. And nobody's moving, and the low ammo is going to come off because he's not doing anything, so they scrounge up some ammo, so he comes in good stead. And then these guys will attempt to recover. Wheaton will help. He'll get a minus, or increases morale up 1 to 6. The roll is a 2. So that's it. He recovers. Very good. All right, so they recover. He's not doing anything, so that'll be it. All right, now they won't get a yellow cube because they didn't activate. They won't get fatigue. So I'm going to use them later because they're going to try to link up here now that I've got Kiefer online to go against Goodwin and try to push them away before Rhodes can get up and really give the Confederates something to think about, because I really want to get Emerson pushing down Greenwood Road, but of course you can see I've got cavalry, Jackson's cavalry blocking it there. So with that, that is it for that particular activation or AM. Thanks for watching.